Hello.
Hi.
You want to say hi? Say hi to the audience.
Hi, audience.
Hi. So this is Jackie, special guest on the show, and for the past 5 days we have been doing just random shit in Japan. And Jackie's been interested in Japan like since when did you first figure?
I want to say it was since middle school, but I also get this feeling that back in middle school it was just the anime. I wanted to come to Japan and be like, yes, this is a land where everything is animated and everything is Technicolor and it's all magical. And then as I progressed into high school, I actually became more interested in the country itself and the culture, the food especially. Anything with food is going to interest me.
And to be perfectly fair, this is totally the wonderful magical world of like Technicolor and adorable things. So Jackie, first impression. What do you think when you got to Japan?
Oh, when I got to Japan, well, very first impression was, of course, at the airport as I was getting off the plane, and not even as I was getting off the plane, as we were coming in for landing in Narita, and I could see through the clouds down below and see all of the countries, and my first impression was, on the one hand, it's kind of like every other city I've flown over in America, but at the same time, even from a height, I could see differences. I could see geographical differences, that it's not a lot of flat spaces, that it is a lot of hills, and for every green space that was open and completely clutter-free of anything civilized, there was also these pockets of what could be a great city, but it could also be a little village, or it could be like the two melded together. It was It was a fantastic view. It was so beautiful. And I regret that we weren't allowed to have cameras on the plane, and even if we had cameras on the plane, I'm a really shitty photographer.
But as you can tell by this shot that's got us framed up against a bedsheet.
Well, that's you.
But it runs the family. But yeah, no, and for what it's worth, Japan is full of like these little tiny villages that are actually just really huge, but they're tiny villages that are huge.
That's actually a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's as though every small town in like an American village where there's always all this suburbia kind of nonsense going on was expanded.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it was compressed because the streets are not nearly as wide. There's no lawn space. But at the same time, it still feels like you have plenty of room. There's this... I said this to you yesterday. It's this magic as though there's been a spell cast so that, yes, every square foot... You can tell I'm American. Feet. Every square foot is spoken for. But within that square foot, it is just what is spoken for in there. So even if you are standing on the sidewalk and there's a million things around you, none of it will encroach on the space that you are occupying. You're able to sort of basically be crammed but not claustrophobic. Yeah. It's the only way I can think to describe it.
And that really comes down to the people.
I think it does. We would never be able to pull this off in the States.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
In America, everyone wants their space and they'll aggressively pursue it. In Japan, nobody wants to touch you.
It's almost... It's the same sentiment, wanting space, but it's pursued differently, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
And
it's pursued so with an eye to
quiet.
Convenience.
Even when it's loud, even when you're on the train and there's the roar of the tracks and the engine, and maybe you'll hear like them. Do trains in Japan even honk the horn? It didn't seem like it.
I think I've heard them honk their horn like once.
Maybe.
And that might have been at like a crossing where it's like the cars are gonna go across the train tracks, so they gotta honk.
To signal train coming, please stop.
Yeah.
Even when you are in like the noisiest place. It's a very quiet noise.
Yeah. Seriously, little kids are quieter.
It's organic noise because it's things that just like if you're in a crowded room and nobody's talking, you're still going to have loud breathing. But even it's like that. It's as though every noise that comes out, you can assign why you're hearing it. There is no excessive noise. There's no somebody making noise because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's
The way that we're talking right now is entirely too loud. We didn't talk like this on the trains. Like we're sitting there kind of going, I'm really looking forward to the zoo.
What's even weirder is that it didn't feel like we were whispering on the train. It felt like we were talking at a normal volume. And then when we spoke up to what we're used to, that felt like, oh my god!
Oh my god!
We're yelling!
Why
are we yelling?
We've been talking this loud for our entire lives. We're assholes.
Except, of course, in the States, if you were on the bus, that would be considered a reasonable level.
Yeah.
And
as long as
if we were talking the way that we were on the train in Japan, we wouldn't be able to hear each other.
Yeah.
Both because, buses in America are obnoxious.
Yeah, here the trains are just kind of like ding, ding.
Well, and they've got the music playing.
Oh yeah, that's
it's
really
almost like whimsy that
Yeah,
you hear these cheery electronic-y tunes.
Seriously, every station that you get off at, the doors open, and it's like this anime theme song, like da 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 da, where you're just like, yes, people are getting off the train to go have a whimsical adventure. Maybe it'll involve mochi. Yay!
Speaking of,
oh yeah.
Mochi?
So we have this thing called mochi.
This is technically chocolate daifuku.
Daifuku.
We found it in Kamakura. And
Show the box. Everything in here is adorable.
This is the packaging that the box came in. But here's the box itself, which a package with it seems like
Russian nesting doll.
Almost. It seems like we complain about how everything is overpackaged in the United States. Like you have the box of the cereal, and then you've got the bag with the cereal in it. It seems like, okay, that's a bit much. But here it almost feels like it serves a purpose.
Yeah.
There's one to keep the shape. There's one to advertise what it is, to make it, well, also especially considering their trash and recycle program, it doesn't even feel like it's excessive, because in the States, the box and the cereal bag inside it would all go right in the trash. No, and nobody would blink twice. Here, if you did the same thing, you would take the bag out of the box, you dump out all of the crumbs, which, be honest, I'd do that anyway, because I like to eat the crumbs off at the bottom. I'm weird. Then you would put the plastic bag in. Patronizing bitch. You'd put the plastic bag in with the plastic trash. The cardboard box would go with the cardboard box recyclables. And there's the specific cycle of how it's all treated and taken care of, which, frankly, I think is amazing. Because
it's amazing, but it's really inconvenient.
It's inconvenient.
As someone who lives here, it's the sort of thing where I admire it for what it's doing, and it's like I am 100% certain that this is really nice, and like it's probably saving them room in landfills and shit. But at the same time, I'm sitting there going, darn it, I've got food that just went bad, and I can't throw it out for 4 more days.
Maybe if they came up with like special bags for burnable or recyclable compost trash, which could seal in the scent. I know that in America,
I'm a cheap ass. I wouldn't buy them.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's your own fault.
I don't know. If they had like a dumpster that had 4 sections in it, like, hey, this is where you throw your burnables, this is where you throw this is where you throw that, I would be good with that. But here it's like, no. You put out your trash the night before, like at 10 o'clock the night before, you can put out your trash, and it's like Tuesdays are burnables, Mondays are all your cans. Thursdays are like
PET
plastic.
bottles?
Plastic. Thursdays are plastic.
Ah.
And then Fridays is the second burnables day. So I guess that they are trying to help you not have, like, rotten eggs in your home, but at the same time, it's still, like...
You still have to put it
Yeah.
out. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what was throwing me, because I was like, you know, come to think of it, I didn't see dumpsters.
Nope.
And well, that explains it now.
Yeah, no dumpsters.
No dumpsters.
We don't do that.
That's actually kind
That's valuable real estate. Somebody could be standing there.
true.
Or you could have a vending machine there.
Vending machines. I love the vending machines. It was almost this, like, video game achievements that I wanted to unlock. What can I get from the vending machine? Can I try everything from the vending machine?
Answer, no. No.
Not
I've
even-
been here months. I still haven't tried everything in the vending machines.
Not even I have that much endurance. And, well,
Also, I can't really see you drinking Red Bull.
well, I know what Red Bull is.
Well, but they've got
And I've
they've got,
tried
like,
it, and I'm not going to try something that I've already had.
well,
elsewhere.
but they've got like Japanese Red Bull. I forget what it's called. It was like Real Gold or something. You saw that in the vending machine.
Oh, like the little...
The little tiny things that were called Real Gold.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an energy drink, and I can't see you drinking energy drinks. Period. Because that kind of makes me picture like the cartoons where the heart starts beating out of your chest and then it just explodes like Itchy and Scratchy.
That's actually not too far off the mark. I've tried 5 Hour Energy and...
Oh, Jackie, you fucking dumbass!
Hey, it was once on Black Friday when I had to be there at 4 in the morning.
That is the worst time to do it. That is the worst possible time to take 5 Hour Energy.
Yeah, probably.
Because when it makes you really sick, you're still surrounded by assholes
Ugh.
trying to beat you over
So-
the head with Bath and Body Works.
So, yeah, I don't do well with energy drinks. I do fine with coffee. I do fine with tea, but energy drinks, I'm guessing that whatever they do, they distill the caffeine so that it's just the shot of caffeine. It's
Combine
like-
it with bull piss. That's what taurine is.
That explains so much.
Yeah, explains its taste.
But so vending machines was amazing. The junk food, I'm gonna sound like a real I'm a bad foodie.
You're
but the
a
junk
wonderful
food.
foodie.
The junk food was something else entirely. We have
Do we still have any of those ginger candies?
Here we are actually. I was about to put one in my mouth. If you didn't hear that video, these are ginger burdock root hard candies, and look at them, like,
Yeah, they look like little lemon candy, and then you put it in your mouth, and you're like, what the hell is this?
I've been living on these because let me take this out of my mouth if I'm talking.
Yeah, maybe, you know, be polite to the nice people at home.
But first day that I got into Japan, because I do not do well on airplanes at all. I am awful with airplanes, and I'm not a big fan of my feet leaving solid ground, but going up into pressurized parts of the atmosphere where the temperature and humidity and everything is different from anything you will find on the ground. Oh, that's awful for me. That I've
Combine it with
every
fake food.
every single time that I've been on an airplane, every single time, when I come down, my stomach is not happy with me, and it's not pleasant. But so the first day that I was here, I was trying desperately to eat something that might have nutritional value, so that I didn't. Shut up.
We're talking about junk food.
I was trying to have something that at the very least would have the 4 basic food groups, some fruit, some veggies, some meat, some grains. And
Fail.
for whatever reason, my stomach would not let me eat until I was properly full. I was...
Yeah, like first 3 days we were here, Jackie would get like her food. And Japan does not do large portions. They have fairly reasonable portions, which, I mean, like you will never see fat Japanese people. It just doesn't happen.
I saw a few which were kind of husky.
Yeah, but they're like old people. I don't know if you notice it, but it's like if you're gonna see someone who's at all heavy, they're gonna be over 40, guaranteed.
Well, maybe
And it's
also
just-
a
and-
couple like otaku. We were
Oh,
in
yeah.
Akihabara.
Okay, yeah.
We were in Akihabara, and if you're ever going to find a Japanese who's fat, it's probably a nerd who does not exercise, who does not get outside their house much, except to
And
go
also,
shopping.
Akihabara is a big tourist area.
True.
So you're very likely to find, like, fat Americans there.
As well as American-y food, which is not good for you.
True. But yeah, no. So, like, fat people, not really a thing so much. And portions very reasonable. But Jackie was like, eat 4 or 5 bites. Yeah, I can't eat anymore.
It was weird. So the next day we're in was it $100 yen store or was it just in a convenience store? I want to say it was $100 yen.
It's
100 yen.
It's 100 yen, not $100 yen. That would be interesting.
Shut up. We were in a 100 yen shop, a dollar store basically, and we saw these rows of candy, like you do, right next to the checkout. And I was sort of like, well, okay, chances are candy, I will be able to stomach it at least, because I was feeling really not good. We had just finished ramen. I think we just finished ramen.
Yeah.
And-
No.
Or had we been to the Indian curry place?
I think this was after the Indian curry place because
Okay.
we did ramen for dinner.
Oh yeah, but we went to Indian curry, and I feel so bad because I love Indian curry. I'm really good at making it, I like to say. But I had only been able to eat like a little bit, but one of them had really thrown me, and I was like, ew.
The keema and egg, yeah, that wasn't great.
It wasn't. Something I noticed is that you get a lot of soft-boiled, runny eggs in Japanese cuisine. Like, at worst in the States, you'll go to a French place, or if you go to a diner and you ask for them to be over easy, you'll have runny yolks.
Yeah.
Not here. It's like the albumin, the whites are also a little runny too, and it's...
Yeah.
Maybe that's a cultural prejudice. I'm starting to wonder if that is a cultural prejudice
I
because
think it's a legal thing. I think that Americans are afraid of leaving food potentially underdone. It's why it's like also really hard to get a good medium steak in the States because like you go and you're like, I'd like a medium rare steak, and you get it and it's actually medium because they don't want to leave it really underdone because they don't want you to sue them.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think it's similar with eggs.
Well, still, that stems from cultural things.
Yeah.
But apparently, as she said, not a lot of fat Japanese people, and as far as I can tell, healthy. They're healthy. That might be also because they've got
Walk everywhere.
they walk everywhere. They might have better access to hospitals than Americans do, where like it depends on your insurance and stuff like that. But if they're eating eggs where they're still watery, maybe there's nothing wrong with them. It's kind of...
So you're saying
that
I could have eaten raw cookie dough all those times?
Well, you would have done it anyway.
I would have done it
Be fair, I did too.
anyways.
I ate more of it than you. You just didn't know it.
Okay, we're getting off track. Yeah,
So, we just finished Indian curry, and I was not feeling so hot. In fact, I guess if you had to put a word to how I was feeling gray. I was feeling gray in the face. Not green around the gills, but I was feeling definitely like, okay, stomach,
So like
you don't want me to eat anything bad. You don't need to do that by not letting me eat anything. Because I need nutrients. And
stomach doesn't trust you.
I was thinking that, well, okay, this is candy. I know what candy is. It's sugar. My stomach will know what it is. It's sugar. It will be calories, it will be carbohydrates. At the very least, I will not suddenly be that tourist who passes out and we'll have a bad anime scenario where I wake up in the hospital, several million yen in debt, and I owe my body to a loan shark.
You
What?
might do that anyways.
So we see this packages, and I'm like, well, okay, if I'm in Japan, I might as well try something that I can't get in the States. And I saw ginger and burdock on the packaging, because we can't read the kanji.
Oh yeah.
We can't read the kanji to save our lives.
Yeah, we're looking at everything going, if there's not a picture on it, I
No,
can't.
we're not touching that. But ginger and burdock root. Burdock root is a kind of vegetable, by the way, which is like a tuber, like a turnip or a beet or a potato. Not really a potato, I guess, but
Kind of looks like turnips had babies with carrots.
yeah, actually, white turnips, enormous white carrots. That's what it was.
Lightsaber.
And I was thinking, well, that might be interesting. And anyway, ginger helps soothe upset stomachs. So we got a package, tore it open, popped one in my mouth, and I'm sucking on it. It's like, wow, this is unique.
Yeah.
It's definitely sugar. It's definitely sugar. I'm not going to say that this is not sugar, but it has a very unique flavor. And I've had like them stuffed in my bag so that every time we went somewhere to eat, like I'd just pop one in and either suck on it before we ate or after, just to make sure that I can at least imbibe food.
We stopped at one really, really, apparently not a very good bar for chuhais, because it's part of the Japanese experience, right? And I've been here a while. I've had several chuhais. I think they're great. I don't even like drinking, but I like chuhais. They're awesome. We stopped there, and we were like, oh, I want a pineapple one. I want a strawberry one. And we're sitting there going, yay, take a picture with the chuhais. Take a sip. Oh, my God. No, this is like pure sochu. This is like pure sochu that's been dyed to look like a chuhai.
So
Jackie, it's the liquor.
Ah.
Yeah, my mom was basically rubbing alcohol. It didn't taste like pineapple at all. I was just like, Jackie, I need one of your ginger candies. I didn't even like them before. I love them now. Ginger candies. Yeah, so chuhais weren't great. Ginger candies were good. Let's see here. We went to Kamakura the day there was a typhoon.
I had the most fun because
She was like in danger of getting blown away. We're wandering from shop to shop, and they've got like the big old blast doors down, going. I wonder. You think maybe we shouldn't be here? Maybe. I
Close
don't
the
know.
blast doors. Close the blast doors. Open the blast doors. Open the blast doors.
I don't know. That was. It was vaguely amusing how like nobody was there. I've been to Kamakura before. You like step, and immediately where you were gets filled by another tourist. It's jam packed, and like you have to walk single file to like see the Great Buddha. We couldn't even get to the Great Buddha because
the train
was closed because there was a typhoon, and we're just morons who didn't think that typhoon was something to worry about. Because we're from Wisconsin, we don't have typhoons.
Well, we've got tornadoes.
We've got tornadoes.
We're in Tornado Alley, and so we're like a strong gust of wind
Okay.
that's not even in a funnel shape. You guys are wusses.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
be fair-
no.
be fair, we've never even had a tornado hit our village. It's like,
True.
yeah, we get the tornado warnings on occasion where they'll sound the siren, and people kind of look out the window and go,
Okay.
I don't see the funnel. I'm not leaving my
Not
computer."
getting in the basement. We're all doomed if we ever do get a tornado.
Seriously, it's like the fire alarms. They go off, and everyone just goes, nah, shut up. It keeps going off, and you just assume, I assume my fire alarm is broken. You know, there could be a goddamn, like, your kitchen could be on fire. You just be sitting there jamming the smoke detector going, why are you still going off? Why?
Well, I just thought it was a test. Well, if it's just a test, you still fail! You failed the test! But, so in any case, we, being the stupid foreigners, didn't quite heed the warnings. In my case, I didn't care, because I was just like, it's a little rain.
Yeah,
I
I was thinking that too. I was like, this is a typhoon warning. Sure. Apparently, Japanese people take that shit serious. Like, we're walking down the place, and we're just like, damn, everything's closed. It was like noon, and everything closed. So yeah, we had to leave Kamakura early. We came back here and watched Star Wars. Because you're in Japan, I mean, I guess you should watch something Japanese, like Star Wars.
Also, because I wanted a palate cleanser, because somebody made me watch
shut
another
up.
movie.
Shut up. I apologize. I'm done apologizing for that.
I'm
Somebody,
gonna be telling this story for the rest of the movie.
somebody didn't like the Hateful Eight. Post below. Tell her she's wrong. But, so we went to Kamakura, during a typhoon because we're morons. Let's see here. And yesterday, we went to the Mount Fuji Safari Park Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And it was clear all day till we got there. It took us like 3 hours on the train. Had to like transfer 3 different times. We took a taxi that was like 70 bucks. It was expensive. We got there.
The taxi wasn't 70, it was 40.
I'm pretty sure it was at least 50.
Well, okay.
Because I did not get change back for my 50.
Okay. It was, I want to say it was 46.
I don't know. Either way, expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Expensive cab ride. We got there and we're looking up the sky going, it looks kind of cloudy. Let's get lunch because we're about to go on our little safari ride. We eat lunch, we get on the bus.
It's still sunny when we're eating lunch.
Yeah, sunny while we're eating. And then get on the bus, start cruising through the park, and I think we just finished feeding the lions.
No, it was the bears. It was already like getting drizzly when the bears did, and then we like passed through into the lion enclosure.
Yeah.
Then it gets like drizzly again when the lions come up.
Yeah, we were able to feed the lions in peace and quiet. I think I posted that video. But like we're feeding the lions, going, ooh, look at the lion, and the lions are just like, whatever. The lions are so uninterested in you on this cruise.
Is it already 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The bears are interested in you because they're like, oh my gosh, apples. I love apples. They come up, nom 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 nom.
Oh, carrots.
Yeah.
Apples and carrots.
These are my favorite, aside from tourists. And then you get to the lions, and they pull up right next to where the lions are sleeping, and the lions kind of all do this.
Lions are all on the rocks.
Lions are all on the rocks. They're like, hey, Joey, you feel like food? Joey doesn't share food. I guess I could eat. You want to get up then?
Yeah.
No, they're not going anywhere. Well, everyone knows the tourists stay until they feed you, so the lions, no fucks given. They get up and they're just like, okay, fine, I'll eat. Nom nom. Just drop it in.
Well, except for the old gent sitting next to us. He accidentally dropped his piece of chicken, landed on the lion's paw. He was like, oh. Well, thank you.
Chicken. Taste of human. But yeah, no. By the time we hit like the tiger enclosure, it was just. We're sitting there going, why? Why did you do this? Because you didn't rain at all while we were on the trains or in the cab or this morning while we were being lazy asses in bed trying to decide what we were gonna do today.
Or
No.
while we were sitting at the station where it was scorching hot and dry and well, not dry. It was humid. You can't be humid and dry.
Yeah, no. It was
But
like
it was
like
still
stick
like-
to your seat,
Oh,
humidity kind of thing.
Just
But no, it waited until we were in the park looking at the animals, and the animals all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, it's raining. We don't get that in the jungle. We have to go inside now." And so, like, half the animals were, in their rain enclosures, so you couldn't see them. And I don't blame them. I mean, hey, if you've got a limited supply of animals, you don't want them getting, like, pneumonia or whatever. Do animals get pneumonia?
probably.
Probably.
Well, okay, at least hypothermia.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, if you've got, like, an animal that's used to being in, hot as balls country, you don't want them getting rained on and getting hypothermia. I get that. But at the same time, I was kind of like, these are wild animals. It's not like they're dogs. Ironically, the dogs have an indoor building to themselves at the Fuji Safari Park Zoo. So do the cats and the bunnies. Also known as the 3 animals that, like, are totally domesticated. You can see those in the rain. The other animals, the ones that normally live outdoors, when it rains, they're like, you gotta take them inside now. Nobody can see them.
We saw 2 capybaras.
Oh, we saw the capybaras. The capybaras were kind of cool because
They
apparently
hunkered down underneath
they were
the
sitting under an awning.
an awning right next to the red panda, and
Smart move, capybaras. No one came to see you. Everyone wants to see the red panda. You
But-
sit next to him.
there were 2 Japanese girls. There's a group of 3 who were
Yeah.
taking pictures, and then one of the capybaras was like, "Oh, I'm kind of wet." Shake. It was really cute.
It was.
They-
And we saw the red panda, of course. Looks like a teddy bear had sex with a raccoon. but it's bright red and it's
You're
adorable.
never letting go of that metaphor.
I'm sorry. That is exactly what it looks like. It's kind of like how killer whales should have been called sea pandas. They would not be endangered if they were called sea pandas. You got to give things good names. Nobody cared about it when it was called impotence. Now it's erectile dysfunction, and it's a national crisis. Seriously, people. Name shit. Do it well. So, closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. I wish that I could wrap up Japan in a little bag and carry it with me through customs.
It would be adorable if you could. It would be like a bobblehead or something if you could wrap Japan up.
It would be.
Seriously. If you could turn Japan into a souvenir to take home.
It would be a bobblehead shrine. It would be like where it's the building and then the roof is separate and you tap it and the roof bobbles.
I don't know. I feel like it would actually be like a shrine, like a really elegantly carved shrine, like out of marble or something. And then there'd be like a little monk sitting in front of it, and then you tap the monk's head and it go. It would be like that. It's like this great combination of really solemn and dignified and just adorable beyond all belief. It's great.
And like I wish I could. There's so many parts of Japanese culture that I've only been here for 5 days. I'm going to sorely miss back in the States because I could get used to it. I could really get used to it because if the most frightening thing while I've been in this country is the thought that I might not be able to find my way around. And I might get lost and stuck. And even then, we've had multiple instances where we're sitting at the train station going,
Which train?
what? Are we looking at the right one? Is the next one coming? What's going on? And somebody just would come up, sort of unbidden.
We're going?
We're going? We're going? Kozu? Ah, this one.
Yeah. That train. Get on that one. And you're like,
Thank you.
hi. Arigato gozaimasu. And you sort of scurry away and go,
And that's literally it.
oh yeah.
Because because I take public transit all the time in the States. It's the only way I can get around. I don't have a car. I live several miles away from my job, and I can't walk that distance. Can't bike it either.
You're just lazy.
I'd like to see you go up North Avenue on a bike. And it's literally the only way I can get around. I've had so many unpleasant experiences just from the fact that on the bus, people are nuts.
They're wild animals.
They really are. Even some of the more polite people on the bus, you still kind of get this sense.
They're still like cats. They're still kind of assholes. Like
There's-
even though they're domesticated, but they're still assholes.
You still get this feeling like if I get in trouble, I am on my own. I'm so screwed. And I've felt uncomfortable. I've felt unsafe. I've felt like it's taking more energy for me to deal with complete and total strangers by ignoring them on the bus. They don't even need to be like talking to me. They just need to be sitting behind me on their phones, yelling and swearing and cussing all the time. Like, about
Like
something.
yeah, swearing at their 5-year-old, you know. like you do.
Or yelling on the phone and literally rambling, saying, I don't fucking care, I don't fucking care, I don't fucking care.
Then
Like,
why
they
are
could
you
say
on the
that
phone?
5 times in a row. And
No.
I'll just go, okay, please. What I wouldn't give to be deaf right now. What I would
You'd
not...
probably miss your stop if you were deaf.
I know the bus system well enough that I can just sort of look up and go, oh, there it is. I know, but at the same time, Japan, you don't have that. I've never felt uncomfortable or threatened. I think the most uncomfortable I felt was yesterday when we were taking the train back and we got on a really, really crowded train. And that's just because, like,
Yeah.
we were kind of like, we
Standing
had to sort of press ourselves up against the wall.
Going like,
Even
don't touch
then-
the nice Japanese people. They're really nice to us. We don't want to be rude.
Even then, when you're trying to like make enough space so that everybody else can get on, there's not this sense that you also have to hunch over and curl up to protect yourself while you're doing that. It's just a matter of
Unless
we
you're
need-
Pokemon, you need to protect yourself then. They'll try and catch you.
Uh,
What? The guy next to you was playing Pokemon Go. I'm sorry, I saw him catch a Bulbasaur. At least I think that's a Bulbasaur. It was like a blue turtle with a flower on its back. But
that's a Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur, yeah. But yeah, no. It's really safe. And, and people want to help you.
It's safe, but it's also not imposing. It's that's the best way I can describe it. You can go for a walk, and nobody will blink twice. Even if you don't fit in,
Yeah.
even if you don't belong there, even if you are a guest, they're not also then going to be like, "Oh, tourist, would you please come over here? Tourist, please come over here. Hello, we want your money."
Yeah,
Or
no.
we
there's-
want your attention. Or no, it's just
Yeah.
oh hi.
Yeah.
Which I love this place.
America would do well to learn some stuff from Japan. I think that's our
Yeah,
yeah.
that's about the best way I can put it.
So see you again next time. I have something to say. Everyone say goodbye to Jackie. Bye, Jackie.